If you were making your own video game, what sort of things would inspire you? Perhaps it would be Nintendo's high fantasy series that has ventured across a wide variety of game genres. Indeed, the Legend of Zelda's influence can be felt in much of gaming, from hobbyist projects to high-budget titles. Looking at you, paraglider mechanic. As today, I wanted to pick out a few slightly smaller-scale video games that thoroughly deserve your attention. And while not all of these indies are out yet, you may find the next Zelda-like of your dreams in need of your support. Preamble over, like and subscribe to show us you have a want for indie game coverage, and let's go. Arette, the Jewel of Faramore.
I've been expecting you, Arette. All alone? What a pity!
Arette is a side-scrolling action-adventure which masterfully achieves a feat that no one else wanted: to be a spiritual successor to the terrible yet hilarious Link and Zelda CDI games.
I'm so hungry, I could eat an Octorok!
Its cutscenes resemble that of the inspiration source material, having reportedly given their animators free rein to make the visual gags as wacky as they wanted. Meanwhile, the gameplay segments use pixel art sprites that look hundreds of times better than the Wand of Gamelon over here, with the exact same color palette. The developer company, CDI Software, is of course a sound-alike to CDI, which also hired the original voice cast of CDI Link and Zelda, plus other notable YouTube talent to star in the game. Aesthetics aside, the gameplay takes the original side-scroller formula and makes it digestible, featuring locked pathways you can return to later, and key items tied to interacting with goofball NPCs. Overall, one of the greatest high-effort meme posts I've seen in a while. Seed of Life. Seed of Life is an old-school Zelda-like, aiming to recreate the visuals of the GameCube and PS2 era. The player controls a wolf with an itty-bitty companion flying alongside them, which are two feelings that traditional dungeon-based Zelda enjoyers will be oddly familiar with. Speaking of dungeons, you can expect them as a major element of this indie, complete with large-scale lock-on boss battles and tons of little puzzles to solve along the way. A glance at some of the sliding block puzzles, which the dev has shown off in particular, took me right back to my days of struggling in the Twilight Princess Ice Temple. I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little excited to see if these ones will be just as nostalgically annoying. Other visual elements like the player's HUD are equally Zelda-themed, with items and abilities being equipable to certain buttons that are present on the screen during gameplay. Plus, a floating camera system that seems reminiscent of Ocarina of Time, with the maneuverability of something like Skyward Sword. It nails the PS2 look with grace. Its Steam page is up now with no set release date. Shire. Shire has been an ongoing project by YouTuber Chalacade, who has been documenting his progress right here on YouTube. Originating as a teaching/learning project on recreating early Zelda games, the project that would eventually become Shire took on an identity of its own once original art, animations, and gameplay ideas began to be implemented. Most uniquely is Shire's current gameplay loop of picking up weapons and sacrificing them at the player's benefit. Breaking your weapon to heal encourages continuous experimentation with other items and is a super unique way of incorporating a self-inflicted durability system. The classic top-down visuals and tight action can be experienced in Shire's current demo out now. The Plucky Squire. Join Jot and his friends as they escape a 2D world for a 3D one. From trailer impressions, the Plucky Squire is somewhere between Super Mario meets a Zelda, and that certainly sounds like a recipe for success. A Link Between Worlds fans might feel right at home as you scale walls and clear obstacles by entering a 2D plane, then fight off little goobers with your sword in 3D, all rendered in this adorable storybook style. The indie team, under the name All Possible Futures, is led by two co-founders, one of which spent a large part of his career designing Pokemon at Game Freak. So it's no surprise the game looks as charming as it does, having incorporated a somewhat self-aware element by mixing various art styles and genre references. The Plucky Squire is out now, not at time of recording, and I imagine it's a hoot of a good time.
Looks like we find Jot in the midst of a little tussle already. A quite explosive one at that.
Maple Forest. If you didn't immediately fall in love of this Game Boy-esque RPG, I don't know if we can be friends. Maple Forest is a Zelda-like, starring a woodland fox and some adorable creatures. The visuals are super unique, using a very limited palette, but at an extremely high level of detail in texture and lighting. The game seems to have loads of items planned, judging by the menus, and the dev has currently shown off classics like a bow, bomb, and fire rod equivalent. Expect to fight some skeletons, maybe a weird bug thing, and all the RPG staples. This thing oozes charm, and I'm hungry to learn more about Maple Forest's charming dialogue and storyline. The Kickstarter is listed as launching soon. Tunic. I probably don't need to sing Tunic's praises. It's a smash hit using a completely unique in-game mechanic of a virtual manual which can slowly be understood by the player as they gain knowledge and solve puzzles. There's coins to collect, a freely explorable world, baddies to dodge, and lots of secrets. Tunic features an isometric view, which can obscure hidden pathways and prompts the player to explore the nooks and crannies they can't immediately see. This is a perspective seen primarily in strategic games, which rely on thinking. That was the perfect choice for this problem-solving adventure, but is also a fairly unique look for a Zelda-like action-adventure. Tunic has won the Outstanding Achievement for an Independent Game award, and racked up loads of nominations since its release. Sheep Lad. Sheep Lad, true to its name, is a side-scrolling action-adventure RPG inspired by the black sheep of the Zelda series, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. Occasionally seen as one of the quote-unquote bad Zelda games, this developer has taken it upon himself to show how the core of the original game had a lot of untapped potential. The awesome visual style and unique interpretation seems to be a first of its kind, with a heavy focus on tight swordplay. The game features a purposeful nuance, like the learning of perfect timings, the different weapons the enemies may use, and the multiple movement options the player has available at any given encounter, as well as the devs' commitment to their vision for players having to work for their win. It's reported that Sheep Lad proudly features no map. Get lost. While we're waiting on the Kickstarter to launch, the dev does have a smaller side projects page available now, known as Sheeplass. Kloa, Child of the Forest. What if you took the visual palette and soundscape of a Studio Ghibli project and met it with a top-down Zelda action-adventure? Well, you'd have Kloa, a cozy yet fast-paced RPG with folkloric figures and epic bosses. The player can dash, shoot, and slash, as you may expect, across some glorious landscapes. Gameplay details are not fully revealed as of yet, but there will be some kind of combo system, as well as guards, deflects, and piercing shots. Currently, the animations present in all the basic attacks alone are impressive on their own, and the Japanese art style influence will be a major selling point for the project moving forward. Kloa has a Kickstarter page available, and a public demo is stated as coming soon. I'm personally looking forward to the reveal of other characters, as this Tanuki fellow in a straw hat is already a winner. Legend 64. Legend 64 may be one of the most captivating work-in-progress indies ever. That is, if you're into masterfully recreated Nintendo 64 charm. The dev, who has documented his progress here on YouTube under the same handle of Legend 64, has utilized similar techniques and limitations as the original Nintendo hardware for a fully authentic 5th generation feel. The result is this purposefully haunting atmosphere of a game that feels like you should know of, like a lost game from the past, or a nostalgic hidden gem that somehow hasn't ever been released. The player fights monsters with their lantern and glowing ember friend in a lock-on style battle system that rivals or perhaps will improve on that from Ocarina of Time itself. Big-scale boss battles and stunning NPCs are in the works. The Legend 64 project dev is cooking something truly amazing, and while progress continues well here on YouTube, we are eagerly awaiting more pages like Steam to go up. Mika and the Witch's Mountain. Have you seen Kiki's Delivery Service? Have you ever wanted to live in a world like that? How about The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker with its bright, comical visuals and light-hearted evils? Mika and the Witch's Mountain tells you exactly what it is at a single glance, a relaxing broomstick-flying chore venture game. Mika wants to be a witch, but finds herself delivering mail, ice cream, and just generally being a helpful little fella. The main hook is being able to glide around the world and hit air drafts to help you reach townies and get them their packages. If you're looking for cozy and have always enjoyed the Toon Link approach to visuals, this is absolutely the game for you to spend a couple calming hours in. Out now on everything you'd expect. Thanks for watching. Did I miss any Zelda-like indies you have your eyes on? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe, like the video for more, and check out our other The Legend of Zelda content right here on MojoPlays.